Hey guys, my name is Zach and welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about things that are keeping you poor. All right guys, so what are things that are keeping us poor? The first is going to be what our culture calls keeping up with the Joneses. So that's when we're trying so hard to be able to look rich, to look like we have more money than we actually do, to be able to look more successful than we actually are, or just to have the nicest things. So maybe the new iPhone comes out and that's something that you really want to be able to get, and you've gotten the last couple iPhones and you don't have it in your budget to buy a new iPhone right now, but you do it anyways. And why do you do it? Because you want to keep up with what everyone else is doing, so you want to make sure that you have the best. And maybe you also decide that in order to keep up with others, that you're going to buy a new car. Maybe you're going to go out and buy a Tesla. Maybe you're going to go out and buy whatever it is, whatever the new car is that you're wanting. And then you put that on credit. So you're making those payments every single month on that vehicle and you're leasing it. And this is a perfect example of investing your money in a way to make it look like you are further along than you actually are. You're paying those payments on that car, but that car isn't actually yours, and you don't actually have the room in your budget to actually be able to buy and purchase something like that. And so that's what it looks like to try to keep up with the Joneses. Reason two is connected to reason one, and that's buying things you don't need with credit. And so this is getting debt on something like a vehicle, or getting debt on something like a huge house that we're just not financially prepared for yet. And so there's multiple different things you could potentially be going out and buying that you just simply don't need. Things like a car that I was mentioning before. That's something that we could potentially go out and one might buy that car and not actually have the money to be able to purchase that at the time. And so instead of just waiting or buying a used vehicle or buying something that's within their means, then this person would go out and buy something on credit. They would be paying a payment for this every single month for a vehicle that as soon as you drive that vehicle off the lot, that vehicle is depreciating in value. It's losing value. It's not as worth as much as it was when they sold you that vehicle 10 seconds before you brought it off the lot. And so that's a way of losing our money. So when we're investing, or when we're putting rather money into things that do not make us anything in return, that's one of the reasons we're staying poor. And that's reason number two. Now, moving on to the third reason that is keeping us poor is what's called net zero thinking. What is net zero thinking? Well, that is the kind of thinking where we say, wait a second, I just got a bonus at work that was $2,000. Now I have $2,000 to finally go out and buy that TV that I've been wanting. Or now I have $2,000 to be able to buy that new cell phone that I've been wanting. Or now I have $2,000, you can fill in the blank for whatever it is you're wanting to be able to use that money for. Net zero thinking is, now that I have this money, I need to spend said money. If I make $100, I need to spend $100. And we all know that when you spend all of your money, then you're left with nothing in return. And when you have nothing in return, no sort of savings, no sort of investing, none of those kinds of things, then you're gonna find yourself continually going back to that job and working it just to barely make it by. This is what's considered working from paycheck to paycheck, and this is not the kind of life that any of us want to live. So in order to not live that kind of life, you need to be investing. You need to be able to set aside 10-15% of your income into investments. Make sure you have that savings account set aside, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses set aside in a savings account, so that if anything were to happen, that you'd be able to pay for that. Reason number 5 is no financial plan, okay? So it's important that we have a financial plan. It's said that those who do not plan to fail. If you're wanting to get that six-pack and you're really working hard to be able to get that six-pack, you're watching all the videos, you're doing all the things, but if you don't take the action to be able to, one, watch your diet, watch what you're eating, watch what's going in, because that's an extremely important aspect, and two, and doing the workout so that you can have that six-pack abs. It's something that when you're not doing the work, you're just not going to see the results. You can't just sit back on the sidelines and hope for the best. And it's not something that anyone else can give to you. We need to not be sitting aside hoping that Social Security or something else will be enough for us when we want to retire. And so we need to take responsibility. Figure out what you are wanting to do, how you're wanting to retire, how much money you're wanting to retire, and doing some work to be able to determine what is it going to look like. What do I need to do now? How much do I need to invest now? What do I want to be investing in? Do I want to be investing in real estate? Do I want to be investing in stocks, in crypto, in NFTs, and so on and so forth? There's a lot of different things that one can do. Just do your research and figure out which is going to be the best for you and what you'd like to do for your future. Reason number 6 that is keeping us poor: not being willing to invest in yourself. It's extremely important to invest in ourselves. And what does that look like? What does it mean to invest in yourself? Well, that means taking some money, some of that cash, some of that moolah that you've gotten, and saying, I want to learn more. I want to understand better crypto. And so I'm going to buy some books, or I'm going to do XYZ. It's not even always, when I say investing in yourself, it's not even always financially that you have to. There's so much that you can learn on YouTube. You can learn about crypto. You can learn about stocks. You can learn about investing in real estate and seeing if it's going to be a good fit for you. And so this is how you invest in yourself, by taking the time and intentionally putting time and effort into this. And by doing so, it'll produce the outcome of financial stability. Now, how does it produce that outcome? It's by intentionally having that plan that I mentioned before. Now that you have that financial plan, you're now willing to invest the time, invest some of your finances in being able to learn about how the rich deal with their finances. Hey guys, just wanted to interrupt real quick and ask you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down below. Really helps out the channel and the YouTube algorithm. Really appreciate it. And we're gonna go on to our next point. Reason number 7 that is keeping you poor, and that reason is you do not have any assets. And now what does that mean? You may tell me, Zach, I've got a house, it's an asset. And let me tell you why a house is not considered an asset. Because every single month you put money into your house, whether it's fixing something, whether it's just paying your mortgage or paying your taxes or whatever it is. And how much money do you get in return? Well, you get nothing. You do not get any money in return from your house. Now, I know a lot of people will say there's different things you can have. You can have tax advantages and so on and so forth. Yes, those things are true. However, when it comes to your basic house, is it paying you money, or are you paying money to have it? And the fact of the matter is, unless you're doing house hacking or Airbnb or renting out half your house or whatever it is, unless you're doing something like that, you're paying all of your mortgage every single month. And every single month, that house is not giving you anything in return. And that's considered a liability. And that's why a car is a liability. Do you need a car in order to get around? The answer is yes. You need a car in order to get around, unless you live in like New York or something and you just want to take a taxi, or you're just going to get around some other way. I don't know. In general, you need a car in order to get around, and that car is extremely important. However, you do not have to buy the newest car. You don't have to buy a brand new car to find a car that's going to be a lifelong friend for you, okay? You can go and you can buy a used car, you can do your research, you can do your due diligence, and you can get a car for much, much less than you would buying that car new. Reason number 8 that is keeping you poor is buying liabilities that you think are assets. And what is that? Well, that goes back to exactly what we were just talking about, and that's your house. Your house is not an asset. Is it something nice to have? Sure. Is there anything wrong with having a house? Absolutely not. If you have it in your budget and you're wanting to get the house and you buy a house within your means, sure, that can be a great thing. It's really nice to be able to have a house, but you gotta know that when you have a house, all of the expenses and all of the upkeep of that house is now on you, and that house is not paying you anything every month. You're paying for that house every single month. So it's taking out of money that could have gone into investing in something. So that's not an asset. A car, we've talked about this a lot. A car is not an asset, especially when you're getting one that you have this monthly payment on. But even if you don't have a monthly payment on it, it's still not an asset. It's just a benefit, something that you do need in order to get around. But your car is probably not paying you any money. And that means it's not an asset. That's what an asset is. It's something that's paying you money. Something like a stock that gives you dividends, or crypto could be considered an asset, or a real estate investment property, something that you're renting out, or something that you're doing Airbnb in, or something along those lines. That's an asset. Reason number 9 that is keeping you broke. And that reason is chasing money. Now, that may be something that seems counterintuitive. We've been talking about money. We've been talking about getting your finances right. We've been talking about being able to get this stuff under control and really understanding where your finances are, where your budget should be, and how you can invest. And yes, all of these things are extremely important, but at the end of the day, if you own $10 million worth of real estate, or you have $10 million, 10 million big ones right in the bank, and you can go buy almost anything that you want, but you don't have any friends, or you don't have any sort of peace in your life, or you don't have any sort of relationship with God, then it's going to be something that is going to feel very, very empty. And so you need to have that physical aspect, the physical aspect of a healthy body. Be putting things that are good for your body in you, not things that are bad. So the physical aspect, things like working out, good food for you, fruits and vegetables, good meat, all those kinds of things. Also, spiritual. I believe that a relationship with God is the most important thing. And even if you don't believe that, we all have something innate in us that is spiritual, and that is an extremely important aspect of our lives. And so guys, I hope that you found some value in this video. If you did find value in this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button down below. It really helps out the channel. I do appreciate it. If you have any questions about this topic, go ahead and hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know, what do you think? What of these 9 reasons, which one do you think is the most important? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, and I'll look forward to seeing you next Monday. Have a great day.